There's probably 3 or 4 ideas that come to mind when I think about why you vote in favor of the tranche. The first is, let's face it, Madison Square Gardens and Madison Square Garden is a globally recognized brand and company. Their iconic venues are second to none. Being associated with a name like that, the validation they've done around our solutions and how they're sharing that information with others has provided instant credibility and validation to that. And we just want to add more fuel to that fire. The second thing that's most compelling to me is, I've had the pleasure of, the opportunity and the pleasure to meet with the most senior of executives through the MSG organization, both on the sports and the entertainment side. It's absolutely clear to me that they've got a vision and a commitment to the vision of changing the whole sports, entertainment, live entertainment environment. They have to. They're in New York. There's so many competitive options, so they have to stay ahead. Anyone who's looked at the Sphere in Las Vegas and has seen what that is doing, it's a order of magnitude change in the experience that we will all have. And they lead that kind of vision. They're in it for the long run, not for a quick flip of share price and make a quick buck. They're thinking about what does the world look like in 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years from now. And they see us as an integral part of that. Right? Not just based on what we can do with weapons screening today, but the promise of what the AI platform can do tomorrow. So, I would encourage the investors to think about this in terms of investing in that long-term vision and that trajectory. The final, I guess the third thought that comes to me is momentum. There's been some very interesting momentum for our company in many aspects since the announcement of the agreement with Madison Square Garden Sports. That momentum can only continue. We're on a great trajectory. MSG has put fuel into the rocket. We're going on a great rocket ride right now. Why not put more fuel into it and take advantage of that? I guess the last point I would say is, like, from my point of view personally, the influence that MSG has in the sports industry in the US, and the ability to open doors with their network of connections through all the pro sports leagues, I would rather, prefer someone like that who is a market maker in our target industry, than some software guy who's 6 steps removed from making an investment in the wrong horse. So that's kind of my view on what I think about and why we should continue to accelerate the momentum with MSG. We do have agreements in place with people like OVG through a master service agreement, which actually does speed up the sales cycle because it removes the need for negotiating a contract on a per venue basis, negotiating pricing, going through demonstrations, going through pilots, all these things that have been completed and preconditioned by OVG at the master level. We're also focusing our sales efforts a little bit on and starting to see a lot more larger deployment opportunities with larger installations. Initially, a lot of the initial pipeline might have been smaller venues and smaller deployments for a few lanes. But we're starting to find more and more of these holistic opportunities where somebody wants to protect an entire manufacturing plant at the same time. And so we're very pleased to start to see those larger deals, which quite frankly, take about the same amount of time as to close as a smaller deal. We're not going to ignore the smaller deals. We'll continue to serve and support those because they round out the business model. All in all, we are finding that we're getting a good quality pipeline because we do a high level of qualification. We understand great applications for our technology and poor applications. We will walk away from some business if it's just a poor application and it's going to lead to a frustrated customer. We'd rather deal with high quality opportunities that create excited and just delighted customers, as opposed to trying to force fit something that really is poor for the customer and poor for us. We're not yet putting out specific financial forecasting because we still feel there's a little choppiness in the ability to close and convert, but we're seeing a lot of smoothing out of the curve in actual conversion of bookings to revenue, so I'm pleased with that. We're going to continue to focus on aggressive growth and revenue backlog and bookings. Those numbers are reported quarterly, and as I mentioned earlier, I see no reason why we won't stay on the same sort of trajectory. We're adding about $2 million per month of quality, qualified pipeline additions and trying to convert that as fast as we can, into bookings and then into revenue. Securing the DHS Safety Act award is something that I hear about often and frequently. We have submitted it to DHS. We're working through that process, And quite frankly, the vice of DHS, they were so pleased with the volume of quality installations that we had and the testing and validation that we've done with our customers, that they actually recommended to us that we resubmit at a much higher level than we had previously submitted for a higher level award. So we'll continue to work through that very aggressively with the DHS as fast as we can and as fast as the government will move. Growth in all trends are key to our milestones. We have metrics we hold ourselves to in terms of revenue, backlog, bookings, deployments, customer success and customer satisfaction. And we expect those trends to continue that we've talked about today through the balance of fiscal 2023. Most importantly, the one thing that I'm the most proud of right now, which is reflected, I guess, in zero churn, is we're doing this without sacrificing our brand or our customer trust or integrity in the marketplace. This is security, and it's important that we deliver well. And so, we're very, very focused on maintaining a quality brand and being a respected company in that industry. So with that, Will, that's really kind of my milestones that I think about them for the year and the metrics that we hold ourselves against more tightly internally.